Every year, a shocking number of seniors experience sudden and unexpected collapses immediately following their breakfast. Most people assume these incidents are simply heart attacks caused by age-related wear and tear, but the underlying danger is far worse and often goes unnoticed until it's too late. These silent killers are lurking in everyday foods that seem harmless at first glance, making this issue especially insidious for the elderly population. The dangerous sequence begins with common foods like a slice of white bread or a serving of sugary cereal. These items are part of countless routines, eaten out of habit without any suspicion of harm. They are quickly dismissed as nothing more than comfort or convenience, but in reality, they initiate a chain of events that can lead to fatal outcomes. The problem lies in the rapid spike in blood glucose levels caused by these simple carbs. When seniors consume these foods, blood sugar can rise by as much as 50 milligrams per deciliter within just 15 minutes. Such sudden elevations place enormous stress on blood vessel walls, particularly those inside arteries, which are already weakened by age. This stress triggers an inflammatory response that targets tiny blood vessels, causing microscopic damage in the lining of arterial walls. Over the course of several months, this inflammation perpetuates and intensifies, leading to the gradual breakdown of the endothelial cells that maintain arterial integrity. This process is silent and hidden, as damage accumulates slowly without any obvious symptoms. Yet it creates the perfect environment for the development of fatty plaques, layers of cholesterol, cellular debris, and thin fibrous caps that stick to the inner walls of arteries. These plaques are fragile, and their growth is insidious. Typically, after months of subtle inflammation, these fatty deposits reach a critical size where they begin to destabilize. The vulnerable plaques become more prone to rupture. When a plaque tears or ruptures, it exposes its core material containing cholesterol crystals and cellular debris into the bloodstream. This exposure immediately activates clotting factors, causing the rapid formation of blood clots at the rupture site. These clots are often small but incredibly dangerous. They can grow to completely occlude the artery within seconds. The consequence of such an occlusion is catastrophic, cutting off oxygen-rich blood flow to the heart muscle or brain tissue, leading to a heart attack or stroke. Importantly, this rupture and clot formation happens silently and quickly, often without initial warning signs. In many cases, seniors do not experience pain or warning symptoms until it is already too late. The blood clot can form in less than 20 seconds, sealing the arterial passage and depriving vital organs of oxygen. This rapid process explains why many elderly individuals suddenly succumb right after breakfast, with no prior indication of impending danger. The entire cascade is set in motion by those seemingly innocent foods eaten each morning, starting with a simple slice of bread or bowl of cereal. These small, familiar choices are deceptively dangerous because they trigger biochemical reactions that silently weaken arteries year after year. Recognizing the gravity of this process underscores the importance of modifying dietary habits. Switching from high glycemic foods to a controlled, low glycemic breakfast, such as 1 cup of oatmeal cooked with 4 ounces of water at a rolling boil for exactly 5 minutes, topped with 1 cup of fresh berries and 1 ounce of chopped walnuts, can significantly reduce blood sugar spikes. Unlike quick carbs, this oatmeal's complex carbohydrates cause blood glucose to peak at only 30 milligrams per deciliter and plateau within 35 minutes, preventing the inflammation and damage buildup in arterial walls. This simple change can prevent the initial inflammatory phase, halt plaque formation, and dramatically decrease the chance of fatal ruptures days, months, or even years down the line. Avoiding the familiar mistake of eating high sugar or refined grain products for breakfast could save countless lives. Because these foods elevate blood sugar rapidly and repeatedly, they set off a biological ticking time bomb inside the arteries. Recognizing these warning signs and understanding the biochemical chain reaction that leads to sudden death emphasizes why changing dietary habits is a crucial and immediate step. Instead of reaching for quick-fix carbs that seem harmless, seniors are encouraged to start their day with a nutritious, blood sugar stabilizing meal designed to protect their arteries and reduce inflammation. This proactive approach offers a vital shield against the deadly cascade triggered by familiar breakfast choices, and it is both simple and accessible to implement every morning. As the years pass and the influence of daily dietary choices persists, the initial inflammation triggered by simple sugar spikes begins to manifest in more insidious ways. Tiny blood vessels within the arterial walls sustain microscopic damage from repeated inflammatory assaults. Over a span of several months, this damage encourages the development of soft fatty deposits known as plaques, fatty deposits that cling tightly to the artery walls, often growing slowly and silently, without any noticeable symptoms. These plaques are primarily composed of cholesterol crystals, cellular debris, and fibrous tissue that form a thin, fragile layer lining the inside of the blood vessels. When their size increases beyond a critical point, these plaques become unstable, fragile, and more prone to rupture, especially during sudden increases in blood pressure or physical exertion. The rupture exposes the core of cholesterol and cellular material to the bloodstream, which in turn triggers the activation of clotting factors. This activation results in the almost instantaneous formation of blood clots at the rupture site. These clots, while small initially, are deceptively dangerous because they can rapidly grow within seconds, often achieving complete blockage of the artery. The process can unfold in as little as 15 to 20 seconds once a rupture occurs, sealing the vessel shut and cutting off vital blood flow. The consequences are catastrophic. When the artery responsible for providing oxygen to the heart muscle or the brain becomes occluded by a clot, it effectively starves the tissue of oxygen and nutrients. This sudden deprivation initiates a heart attack or stroke, respectively, often with no premonitory symptoms. The individual may be perfectly fine moments before, and then suddenly collapse or become unconscious. Tragically, because these clots form silently and fast during routine activities, or even during sleep, many seniors are taken by surprise with no warning signs until it's too late. The biological cascade begins with everyday foods like a slice of white bread or a bowl of sugary cereal that seem harmless but in reality set off a chain reaction. These foods cause blood sugar to spike sharply, up to 50 milligrams per deciliter within 15 minutes, exerting enormous stress on already weakened arterial walls of older adults. The resulting inflammation weakens the endothelial lining of arteries, facilitating plaque formation that quietly inches toward dangerous sizes. A crucial step in preventing this escalation is to replace those high glycemic meals with low GI options. Cooking steel-cut oats in 4 ounces of water at a rolling boil for exactly 5 minutes, and then letting it sit off heat for 5 minutes, topped with half a cup of fresh berries and 1 ounce of chopped walnuts, keeps blood sugar increases minimal. The complex carbohydrates in oatmeal cause a peak blood glucose of only around 30 milligrams per deciliter, plateauing within 35 minutes, thus preventing the small, fragile plaques from destabilizing or rupturing. Such precise dietary modifications are essential, because every day that passes with continued consumption of quick carbs silently fortifies the biological ticking time bomb within blood vessels. Minimizing rapid blood sugar fluctuations halts the inflammatory process early, preventing the gradual growth and destabilization of plaques. Understanding these mechanics underscores the importance of immediate changes in eating habits for seniors. By eliminating sugary cereals, white bread, and refined grains at breakfast, substituting instead with oatmeal prepared precisely as described, individuals can significantly reduce the chances of plaque rupture and subsequent deadly blood clots. The importance of exact timing and temperature cannot be overstated. Using 4 ounces of water at a rolling boil, cooking for exactly 5 minutes, and letting the oatmeal rest prevents unnecessary spikes in blood sugar. This simple, specific change can drastically reduce the silent buildup of danger within arteries, lowering the risk of sudden, catastrophic events caused by clotting. Recognizing these signs and taking precise, measured steps to control blood sugar levels is a crucial step in protecting the arteries from irreversible damage. The stakes are high because every day that high glycemic foods are consumed, the cumulative damage increases, inching closer to the point of no return, where rupture and clot formation become almost inevitable. This underscores not only the importance of awareness, but also the urgent need to switch to blood sugar stabilizing meals designed to prevent these deadly cascades from ever starting. In many cases, detailed autopsy reports and medical studies reveal a chilling truth. The rupture of a single tiny, unstable plaque inside an artery is often the silent trigger behind the majority of sudden, fatal strokes and heart attacks in seniors. These plaques, small and seemingly insignificant, are often overlooked because they produce no symptoms or warning signs. They are fragile collections of cholesterol crystals, cellular debris, and fibrous tissue nestled within the arterial walls for months or even years. Typically, these plaques form deep inside arteries after persistent inflammation caused by everyday high glycemic foods like sugary cereals or white bread. Over months, microscopic damage weakens the delicate endothelial lining of the blood vessels. As inflammation persists, fatty deposits begin to accumulate silently, slowly inching toward a size that compromises vascular integrity. When a vulnerable plaque reaches a critical limit, it becomes destabilized and prone to rupture, especially during sudden increases in blood pressure caused by physical exertion or emotional stress. The moment it ruptures, the core of cholesterol crystals and cellular debris is exposed directly to the bloodstream. This exposure rapidly activates the clotting cascade, sparking off the swift and nearly inevitable formation of a blood clot at the rupture site. This clot, initially tiny but deceptively dangerous, can grow within just 15 to 20 seconds, rapidly enlarging and sealing the artery completely closed. Once the artery is occluded, oxygen-rich blood cannot reach the vital tissues of the heart or brain. The tissue begins to suffer irreversible damage within moments, leading to the catastrophic failure seen in massive strokes or fatal heart attacks. The unfortunate part is how silently and quickly this process unfolds. Often, the individual feels perfectly fine moments before, perhaps just feeling a bit tired or seeming normal during routine daily activities. There are no pain signals warning of the imminent disaster until it is too late. The clot forms without warning during routine activity or even during sleep, leaving loved ones devastated and helpless as emergency responders arrive to face the aftermath of the sudden tragedy. The entire cascade is set off by another seemingly innocuous daily choice: eating a slice of white bread or a bowl of sugary cereal for breakfast. These foods cause a sharp spike in blood glucose levels within the first 15 minutes of ingestion, rising by as much as 50 milligrams per deciliter. This rapid increase exerts enormous stress on already weakened arterial walls, triggering inflammatory responses and further destabilizing fragile plaques. A simple, precise dietary intervention can dramatically alter this deadly trajectory. Replacing high glycemic breakfast foods with a carefully prepared bowl of oatmeal cooked with 4 fluid ounces of boiling water for exactly 5 minutes, then allowed to sit off heat for 5 minutes, topped with half a cup of fresh berries and a single ounce of chopped walnuts, can keep the blood sugar spike to a minimal high of around 30 milligrams per deciliter, peaking at no more than 35 minutes after eating. This measure prevents the inflammatory processes from accelerating, halting plaque destabilization before it can rupture. The specific timing and temperature are critical. Cooking the oatmeal properly at high temperature ensures the complex carbohydrates break down slowly, preventing rapid absorption, and the 5-minute resting period allows the oats to thicken and digest more gradually. The inclusion of berries provides antioxidants that fight inflammation, and a small portion of walnuts supplies omega-3 fatty acids that help strengthen vascular walls. Every day that high glycemic foods are consumed, the danger of a plaque rupture silently increases because the ongoing inflammation and plaque growth create a biological ticking time bomb within the arteries. Recognizing this subtle yet catastrophic process underscores the importance of immediate dietary change. Moving away from quick carbs and refined grains at breakfast toward a controlled, blood sugar stabilizing meal will significantly reduce the risk of destabilizing fragile plaques. A small but precise adjustment, exactly the amount of water, cooking time, temperature, and ingredients, can be the difference between gradual, unnoticed damage and preventing a deadly rupture altogether. The stakes are exceedingly high because once a plaque tears and a clot begins to form, the process can unfold in less than 20 seconds, sealing off vital blood flow and leading to an immediate disaster that often ends life before rescue can even be attempted. The knowledge that such devastation can originate from a single innocent breakfast item emphasizes why the importance of vigilance in dietary habits cannot be overstated. By understanding these mechanics and implementing simple, measured changes, seniors can take immediate steps to protect their arteries from the silent, deadly cascade that lurks unnoticed with every high-sugar meal they consume.